Today I want to dedicate a lesson to all the cool Lush pads, which saturate the tracks with a special atmosphere and extremely pleasant to the ear. So, how to make a pad that you have heard before? The pad consists of 2 layers. Let's listen to how the first layer sounds without any processing and without the chord. It sounds like a bass. Now turn on the chord. It adds additional notes to the main note, 3, 7, 10 and 12 semitones higher. By the way, this is an interesting combination of notes. In many cases it sounds very pleasant. And let's hear how it sounds now. It's not a very pleasant sound yet, and we need to process it properly. But about everything in order. The operator is in the first layer. I got the idea for sound synthesis from one of the lessons of Audioreakt. Link to his channel I will leave in the description. All 4 oscillators are involved here. On the first oscillator there is a sine. On the second there is also a sine, and the sound is raised 1 octave higher. To give a detuning effect, the pitch is slightly raised by 3 units using the fine parameter. On the third square D, the sound is 2 octaves higher, and the fine is raised by 5 units. And on the fourth, So 16. The sound is also 2 octaves higher, fine by 7 units. The volume level on these 3 oscillators is lower than on the main one, and on all 4 oscillators the sound smoothly appears due to the shape of the envelope. The algorithm is such that each oscillator affects the sound of the other. I cut off the upper frequencies in the filter, and I lowered the sound of the entire operator by 2 octaves lower. Next, I increased the gain. Then I removed the extra lower frequencies, adjusted the mid-range frequencies quite a bit using the roar. Then I used the equalizer again to remove those frequencies that seemed unnecessary to me. And here I cut off the resonating frequencies. Let's now listen to how it sounds. It already looks more like the sound we need, but it's still not the same. Next, I added a little space to the sound using the convolution reverb on small parameter values. This is all done solely by ear, there are no rules here. Next is the effect track, where there are different reverbs that add atmosphere in total. I think the difference is obvious. On the first layer of this rack, first there is an equalization, then the hybrid reverb with these settings. Please note that the pitch in the shimmy mode is removed by -12 semitones. This adds a good low frequency component to the sound. On the second layer, the hybrid reverb with different settings, and there is already a shimmy and +12 semitones. It's much more audible here, which gives us +12 semitones. And let's hear again how this effect track sounds from 2 hybrid reverbs. Further, after this effect track is again frequency correction and removal of unnecessary resonances. The sound is already more accurate. Then I decided to add a floating pitch effect using the chorus ensemble. This creates a small, barely noticeable detuning effect. The effect is almost invisible, but if you listen closely you can hear the difference. Then frequency correction again. I think there is nothing wrong with using multiple equalizers to put the sound better into the mix. Then again the hybrid reverb. It's not very noticeable in the sound, but still it gives a little more atmosphere. Then with the help of 3 equalizers I cleaned the resonances again. In the end, I narrowed the sound width and increased the gain. Let's hear. That's how the first layer sounds. Next are the effects that apply to both layers. More on them later. On the second layer there is a wavetable, the first oscillator instruments, Afrobeat, the effect mode is modern, and the sound is lowered by 5 semitones. This is done solely by ear. The warp parameter is assigned to the LFO 1, which gives movement to the sound. On the second oscillator, the echoes wave from the retro set is selected. The volume is slightly lowered and the sound is shifted slightly to the left. At the same time, the sound is 12 semitones higher. The filter is in PRD mode, and I set the filter to move using envelope 2. The filter opens smoothly during sound playback. Unison in random mode, which adds interesting character to the sound. Then equalization to remove unnecessary frequencies. Next, there is a wonderful plugin that allows you to add interesting effects, as well as make change to the sound of the pitch. In this case, it's the pitch that interests us, because setting here, for example, the value of -12 semitones, we lower the sound by 1 octave lower. At the same time, the dry wet value is small, which allows you to leave part of the sound unchanged, and partially add the same sound an octave lower. Let's hear how it sounds. I think you can hear how an octave lower sound is added to the main sound with a delay. And then equalization again. Then the echo with the settings. And note that there are also certain settings in the modulation tab that give a special character to the sound. Pay special attention to these parameters. Thanks to them, an interesting modulation of the filter delay and envelope occurs. Next, equalization again and special processing again using the hybrid reverb with these settings. The reverb can be clearly heard here. I want to draw your attention again that the settings in the echo and the hybrid reverb are made exclusively by ear. There are no rules and restrictions here. I recommend that you try to apply your settings. Then, with the help of 2 equalizers, I remove the extra lower frequencies and clean out the resonances. The sound has become quieter, but it will be enhanced by processing, which works on 2 layers. First, let's hear how these layers sound without processing. So, I want to draw your attention to the processing that applies to these 2 layers. Here is the final equalization. Then sound expansion, volume increase and final equalization in this effects chain. Next is the equalizer, which better fits this pad into this particular mix, which I have prepared for you and which can be downloaded on my Patreon. And this preset is also available for download. And I suggest you listen to how the pad sounds with the final processing. Everything has fallen into place now, and I suggest you enjoy the sound of this pad in the mix again. After learning about discounts on sneakers, everyone literally disappeared from the festival. At some point, the musicians, discouraged, remained in complete silence. And only a tumbleweed could be seen in the distance, which was also rolling towards the supermarket after the people. What happened at the store where the discounts were supposed to be? There was a wild pandemonium, an unimaginable fuss. No one saw the discount on sneakers. Everyone was sudden and puzzled. Many people have gained weight trying to cope with stress by eating sweets. And those heroes who were able to refrain from sweets in order to somehow improve their mood and live with at least something, began to look for what discounts are generally available. Moreover, the discounts turned out to be for very strange things. Elbow stands, guitars for dogs, air conditioners for muffins, and watermelon jackets. As a result, tired with useless things, people went home, agreeing to find the deceiver next day and make him listen to the dog playing the guitar. At night, one of the residents dreamed for some reason of a beach.